We are at the top of the hour now. So thank you everyone again for joining us. This is still track two, Buddhist education and skills development. The topic for our final session, session three, is Bon Odori and Taiko activities with our presenters Christine Kubo, Reiko Iwanaga, and Kemi Nakabayashi. So I will hand it off to all of you.
Hey, thank you, everybody. Welcome to our public workshop, track two, session three, Bon Odori and Taiko activities. We'll be reviewing events our subcommittee has been involved in and previewing upcoming and ongoing events. So we'll have our opening gasho with Sydney Shiroyama. Please, Sydney, it's good to see you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Could you please join me in Gasho? Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Thank you so much. Okay, so here's a list of what we'll be presenting today. We'll be starting with Making of Kangie by Derek Nakamoto, and then going on to Bumbu Stories, their various travels and what they're going to be doing with Lantern Song, and then Midwest Buddhist Temples Taiko History with Dr. Cynthia Mee. We'll just show you what our webinar page and our YouTube link looks like on Bon Odori Taiko webinars in our past programs. And Nobuko Miyamoto will be giving you a short explanation of the project that she'd like to do for her new song, 120,000 Stories. And at the very end, we'll be showing you just giving you a little bit about a webinar coming up in May called Partner Dance, Grab a Partner, Bone Dance for Two. So I hope you enjoy it. And here's Derek. Derek Nakamoto is the producer and director of Making of Kangie. I think I said that correctly. And then, and this is a documentary film about Nobuko Miyamoto's journey into the making of her Obon song and dance, Kangie. So, Derek, please, thank you.
Oh, nice to see all of you here. And it's a pleasure for me to be here to speak a little bit about this beautiful film that we've been working on, the making of Kangie. I believe we have a short teaser clip to present to you. Are put together by our editor, Sina Bosch, who's been working along with Evan Kodani, helping us shape this beautiful story. So maybe we could show the clip now.
Is this the correct clip?
No, Moss, can you
No.
just stop sharing, please? I'm gonna do this.
It's not the right clip. Yeah, what we are showing, this will be this is the first 5 minutes of the film, setting up the rest of the story. And once we see it, I'll maybe talk just for a few minutes about the concept of the film.
I'm getting an error message. Sorry.
Maybe you should do it before. Maybe you could do that while we're waiting for the film.
So I'm a firm believer in context, and with many films, short films that are done now, a lot of the information that I think is important to the story ends up on the editing floor. I don't want it to, because this film has no time frames. We're not going for broadcast or something, and it's a very we didn't have those restrictions. What I know after working with Nobuko for so many years is there was always this great relationship between her and Reverend Moss in the composing of all the obon music that she has done, starting from Yuyo. And that was always interesting to me because the public, we see the results, we hear it, we appreciate it, and all the great kudos to Nobuko. And when we're talking in the back, she'll say, I wouldn't have done this without Reverend Moss. He's the one. He got the ball rolling. And whenever she needed advice or guidance so that there could be clarity in the composition, she would always have conversation with Reverend Moss. So he was always and has been an integral part to the composition. So I wanted to kind of detail a little bit that relationship over the years, because that together, that's what ended up creating Kangie. It's one piece, but it really is a representation of a full circle journey. And I believe that the depth that Nobuko wanted to present in the composition is a result of this beautiful journey. And that's what I wanted to showcase in the film. So
Hey,
there are a
Derek,
lot of,
yeah, yeah, thank you.
Okay, let's watch the film.
Thank you so much, Derek.
If we want Obon to go on to the next generations, and you want them to understand why are they dancing in the circle.
What is bonding? It's meeting with your ancestors and dancing with them. It's dancing with the dead and trying to understand what that means. What does death mean? And that, I think, is powerful, just in and of itself. That dying is associated with dance. Bon Odori has changed a lot. It's the one tradition that's uniquely Japanese American and also dying, I think.
So it feels like it continues through. Yeah.
Kangie! 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Yo!
And during that rest, should I just lay out? Everybody rest?
Kangie!
No, play through it.
No, you.
Just the downbeat, you mean? The beat?
You are the downbeat. I'm the upbeat. In 2020, the world closed. No gathering, no dancing, no obon. In 2023, I was commissioned by the BCA Music Committee to write a new song. Something to call us back into the circle.
In this area, dancing-wise anyway, maybe 800 to 900 would fit. That's not including the people who will be, watching.
Okay, well, how the circle is going to be? Is it going to be oval or is it going to be?
Well, if the Yagura is right here,
yeah.
Just to fit it, we're going to have to put oval.
Obon in Japan is very different than the obon in the U.S. because it's very regional. In Japan, it comes out of the folk traditions.
My prejudice is ours is more authentic. And I think one of the interesting things about it is ministers from Japan who have come here, when they return, they start our kind of obon in their own temples.
I would never have written an Obon song if it wasn't for Reverend Moss. It's a sacred task, and it was not my place to, as an artist or as a songwriter, to explore that avenue, and I feel really grateful that I was invited to do that and to understand Buddhism in a much deeper way. You allowed me to explore and make mistakes and try again, and just like having this space, it allowed us to have a place to practice our work, to create things, to fail. The first time I went into the social hall to teach Yuyo, I'm going like, where's Reverend Moss? I'm a stranger in the temple, I'm trying to tell these Japanese women who have been doing Obon for forever, and I'm coming in with a strange song that's in English, and showing them this dance, It was, I just wondered what they thought. Yuyo, the first one I wrote, sort of opened the way for English lyrics to be used, so we could actually, people like us who don't understand Japanese, could actually understand why we're dancing and what we're dancing about. Obon dancing is usually a storytelling, simple storytelling. You don't just learn it, you experience it.
So the film will encompass, little bits of the different songs that Nobuko has composed, and it's just to create context to why I think conceptually she heard, and we produce Kangie to have the flavor that it does. And I love Reverend Moss shares so many words off the cuff of wisdom, and I'm always in the back going, God, I wish I had something to record that, because they're these gems, and it's random, it just comes out, but they're all pearls of wisdom, and they're all blessings. And I also wanted to show that Nobuko is very consistent. The person that we see on stage and in community is the person that's her. It's real. The giddy part that often, though, is not seen is her in that flux state of composition, questioning herself, questioning everybody. Am I doing this right, or should it be this or that? And I'm privileged to be able to see that. So hopefully some of that context also comes into the film. And the goal with this film is not only to memorialize the history of the Obon music that she has written, but also hopefully pique the interest of people who may not be Buddhists, but have a little bit of knowledge or interest in Obon. And this film will pique their interest more, and hopefully they will come to temple and participate and learn. So I'm very grateful to the support of the committee, Buddhist churches, and the time too, because it's a project of the heart. And Sina, who is the editor and has the greatest responsibility, she has a full-time job, and it's extremely demanding. But I know that the time that she is able to put into the film, given her pedigree with her father, Akira, it's really going to be a great film. And I'm really happy that she is on board, and we have the awesome Evan Kodani also overseeing it. It's going to be really good. So thank you. And that's it, because I'll keep rambling. That's not a good thing.
Thank you so much, Derek. Really appreciate it, and we're looking forward to the film. Yeah. So please keep us posted.
I will.
Thank you. Okay. The next two of the five members of Bombu Stories, Sydney Shiroyama and Miko Shudo, will give you an update of sharing their travels to various parts of the U.S., sharing Lantern Song, and where they'll be going in the future. So Miko and Sydney, take it away.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you all for having us here so we can give you an update on our the travels we've been doing and some things that we are working on currently. So if you could change slides, okay. So just a quick background for those who maybe haven't heard of us. So we are a group called Bombu Stories. We're an artist collective made up of primarily the five people. So in this photo, there's Vicky Zhang, Miko Shudo, Miharu Okamura, myself, Sydney Shirayama, and Kendall Tani. But we do collaborate with many other artists in our community. And we formed in 2019 at the residence actually of Chris Kubo's house. And we started doing projects that are multimedia, which includes taiko and singing, songwriting, spoken word. And we started working on projects related to mental health and different topics that we don't see as featured as often as we'd like. And so because Chris Kubo was familiar with our work, she thought of us when this commission to make an Obon song for the BCA's 125th anniversary came along. She thought of us and asked us to put together something. And so that's why we created Lantern Song. And it is nice that we are presenting right after Nobuko's making of Kangie, because I think this was she really helped pave the way for us, and we did reach out to her for lots of advice. And so this picture here is from the day that we filmed our music video for Lantern Song, and it's in front of Senshin. And actually, Lantern Song itself is inspired very heavily by a conversation we had with River Mas Kodani. So yes, we were honored to add our voice to this amazing legacy of Obon creators. Yeah, and next slide.
Hi everyone, my name is Miko. I just wanted to share a little bit about our travels in the year of 2024. So this was the year that we released the song. I think we released the song in February, and then we released the music video as well. And we ran some workshops to teach different temples the Bon Odori and to do like crafts, and we all danced together in these workshops, and we shared some of our other Buddhist original music as well. So in the center there, you'll see us at Arizona Buddhist temple in Phoenix. I think it's Phoenix, right? We did a workshop there. We did a few performances, and we joined in on their learning of certain Obon dances, which was really fun. Top left picture, we're at Senshin. I think that's where we debuted Lantern Song. It was our first performance of it, which is really, really special. On the bottom, where are we? We're probably at Palo Alto Buddhist Temple. On the right is the Yerba Buena Bon Odori Consortium, I think. That event at the Yerba Buena Gardens in San Francisco. And then at the top, we are at Makawau's temple in Maui. And we had a special connection there because Kendall, one of our members, she has family from that temple. So we got to meet her great grandma and her relatives, and we got to dance with everybody. And it was really neat to see their unique style of Bon Odori. So yeah, 2024 was pretty busy for us. We were just like really excited to visit all these places, and we were feeling very excited and very grateful to the committee and to Dharma Forward for allowing us to share this work finally, which had been a work in progress for, I think, 2 years at this point. So this is a really exciting time for us. Okay, next slide.
Okay. And last summer we attended Ekoji Buddhist Temple in Fairfax, Virginia. This was thanks to Dharma Forward, a grant from Dharma Forward, and also in collaboration with the Ekoji Buddhist Temple, who helped fund this trip. And that was really helpful. We love traveling, we really truly do. Sometimes though, it does take a strain on our personal finances, and so any sort of financial support we get from the community is very, very helpful. And it really allows us to carve out the time to spend the time in the community with you all. So yeah, we went to Ekoji. This was really amazing. It was many of our first time to uh, the East Coast. And then also, I mean, I think everybody, yeah, everyone's first time to Ekoji. And it was really, really cool to meet people there. We spent a lot of time with Brant and Maya Horio, and we sung with their kids. And it was just like really sweet to be welcomed, not only into a temple community, but also into the homes of some of the members as well. And we had a workshop. So when we do our workshops, it's a combination of sharing our work, and also creating lantern tassels, which include the names of people who have passed away to kind of help bring everybody into the mindset of Obon as a time of remembrance, and of mourning as well as joy. And so we do kind of a craft with the lantern tassels and also with stamps that we've carved out, and then a presentation. And we dance lantern song all together. And usually our workshops have been quite intimate, which is really sweet because we get to answer questions and talk to people and really get to know everyone who attends. And then at Ekoji, we were lucky enough to attend their Obon as well. And actually, Miko, if you don't mind sharing a little bit about that experience, I did have to leave, so I couldn't make it. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah, Ekoji was unique because one, their Obon, like outside, I guess because of some ordinances, they're not allowed to play music from like an amplified speaker. So they are so creative and ambitious. They put together like a little orchestra, and a choir. I think their taiko group became the choir, and they learned all of the obon music, and it was all live. And we didn't have any microphones when we performed it. We had these like little cones to amplify our voices like naturally, and it was a very unique experience, and it was just a lot of fun. It was very like grassroots, but the energy was really nice. And then on top of that, it was storming, and so midway through, I think the second round of dancing, or maybe the first round of dancing, we had to all like evacuate the area, so we had to go inside because there was like thunderstorms and lightning. And so the picture on the bottom of the slide where everyone's sitting down in the hondo is where everyone was waiting, for the word to be like, okay, it's safe to go outside again to continue dancing. And Brant was like, hey guys, there's a full house inside the hondo, and we have mics and we have instruments there, like wink wink, maybe you want to do a performance there. And so it turned into kind of just like a jam session in the hondo while everybody waited to go outside again. And that was definitely one of the most memorable things from the trip. Okay, I think next slide. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Next slide. Okay, so this is still in 2025 in November. We got to go to Denver. I think this was also, our travels were funded by Dharma Forward. And one of our members, Vicky, has family that goes to Denver Buddhist Temple. So they were very wonderful hosts. And we did a workshop and we performed during their service as well. And it was really cool just to understand more about Denver's JA history. I didn't realize like the history was like went so far back. So it was nice. Yeah. And then I think this was the first time Sydney was like a guest speaker as like a reverend. Is that right, Sydney?
Yes.
So Sydney did the Dharma talk during service, and then afterwards she introduced our group. We performed a couple of our gathas, our original gathas. You can see Miharu and me in front of the Onaijin, and then Vicky, one of our taiko players, is also playing the keyboard there. We got to do some acoustic music, and then we danced in the gym after. You could see everyone. When we take a group photo, we often ask them to pose in their favorite lantern song dance move. So that's why you might see people doing this or putting their hands together. And yeah. Next slide. What is our next one?
Yeah, we wanted to mention kind of another kind of project or set of events that we've been working on. We're calling it Bombu Jams. This is in partnership with Koichi Mizushima, which I'm sure many of you know, who helped organize the jams event online during the pandemic. And so JAMS is an acronym that stands for Jodo Shinshu Artists and Musicians Showcase. And so back last year in September, we had our first Bombu Jams concert event at Southern Alameda County Buddhist Church. And so that's the top photo, the top group photos were all the performers. And so this was, yeah, one of our favorite things to do as a Bombu Stories group is to work with our friends and to invite our friends up on stage and to showcase local artists, and especially musicians that maybe are up and coming or don't have as many opportunities to perform. We really want to embrace that and get them on stage and kind of jam together. And so that was kind of what our goal was for Bombu Jams. We chose a theme. The theme was Out of the Mud Grows the Lotus. And so this was to kind of create this collective storytelling moment. And we did invite people from various Buddhist backgrounds. And so it was really fun. We had a great time. There was many people that came. And we got to see some of our favorite rock star ministers jam on stage. So that was really fun as well. And then we had an event in December at Sacramento Buddhist Church. So both of these events were super fun. It was like so inspiring to see the art that people create. And we're really hoping to do more of these. So if your temple is interested in a Bombu Jams event, please do reach out. We would love to collaborate. Next slide.
This year we have more plans to travel. Obviously, we're going to be at the Northwest District Convention in Seattle or in Renton. We'll be running a workshop. I can't remember which session 2. And we'll do a lantern song unplugged for our younger members of the Sangha, for Dharma school age kids. We're going to be doing some of the same things like a group lantern art project. We'll do some singing and we'll teach the lantern song Bon Odori. And we also have plans to go to Utah in May to visit Salt Lake City Buddhist Church and or Ogden Buddhist Temple. We'll be doing probably a similar thing that we did in like in Denver, maybe perform during the service and run a short workshop after. So we're still planning that with Stephanie from Salt Lake.
And also just a quick note on the Utah trip. We are going to also be a part of Topaz Pilgrimage. Some of the events that we've been a part of include pilgrimages and Japanese American incarceration type of events. And so that is actually also a lot of what our work includes as well. And so, yeah. Next slide, please. Okay. And if you're interested in following along on our journeys and our travels, please do follow us on Instagram and YouTube, and also Facebook as well. We're under the it's called handle Bombu Stories. Yes, and this is Yeah, you can go ahead and play it. I mean, this is a short video just to show what it's like to have a workshop, and this was at Ekoji.
Won't stop, the sky's so blue. Drop snow when I think of you. I don't wanna leave. You're the best part of me. There's more. Yes, there's more. What do you say? Is it okay?
There's other people here that was in the music video too, if you want their autograph.
I tried to draw it.
Awesome. Now we can
That's
search
so
for
sweet.
it.
We need to change our logo to that.
I drew a circle so it looks like the channel.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that's all. And we really just want to thank the music committee and Dharma Forward and really BCA and everyone actually for all your support and for helping make our travel dreams possible. Yeah, and please don't hesitate to reach out to us.
Yes, thank you.
Much, Sydney and Reiko. Mas, can you stop sharing? I'm going to do the sharing for the next portion. Thank you.
Thank you, Miko and Sydney. Really appreciate you doing this. Yeah, we still have the decorations that we made in Cortez. Thank you. All right. So our next speaker is Dr. Cynthia Mee, and she'll be speaking about the influence of Reverend Ron Miyamura on the development of Buddhist Taiko in the Midwest and the East Coast. Okay, so Cynthia, please, thank you.
Yes, I should turn my audio. Can you hear me? Am I okay? Good afternoon. I'm so honored and grateful to be able to share the contributions that Reverend Ron Miyamura has contributed to the history of Taiko in BCA and in the United States. And we're going to start with a short video.
My first experience with Taiko was 1970, was at the Pacific Seminar in Asilmar back in the day. Saw Kinata perform very primitively, no costumes, 2 drums. One was a nail barrel drum. And when I came back from Japan, I was in Los Angeles and I went to a Kinata Taiko practice, and it was interesting. It affected me, that very basic emotional level. Because Taiko is very simple. There's only 3 sounds. Don is a skin hit, ka is the rim hit, and silence. Sunyata. So the arrangement of sound is what makes Taiko interesting, and it's also a visual thing. A CD or of just sound of Taiko to me is so boring. You have to see the players play it. That's part of the emotion.
How old were you when you first saw Taiko and developed?
Well, I was in the 1970s, so 26. And then I had known Johnny and George Abe from before, so we kept in contact. And 1975, for the Eastern Young Buddhist League Conference, our district conference, I invited George and Johnny to come out to introduce Taiko to the Midwest, to the Eastern District. And then in 1977, we invited them to the Ginza Holiday, which is the summer festival fundraiser for the Midwest Buddhist Temple. And 5 players came out to play Taiko on the Ginza stage. We have an early picture of them when they still had bands around the barrels, and we have a picture too of a crowd shot of maybe 1,000 people watching them. So that was a nice introduction to Taiko in the Midwest. The Midwest group started after Johnny and George stayed later and helped start our group. And this was in early days. There was no video. Cassette tapes and sound was not yet really readily available. A couple years later, we got some cassette tapes of the sound of Taiko, so we heard that. But I remember the first year, we just had to rely on our memory, and we had to learn things orally. Don, 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 and even drum making back.
So the video goes on, but I'm just going to, as Reverend Ron mentioned in the video, in 1975, the Taiko Journey East began when he invited George Abe and Johnny from the Kanadi Taiko group to perform at the Eastern Youth Buddhist League Conference in Chicago. And this Taiko relationship continued in 1977 when the members of Kanada came to Chicago to perform at the Ginza, as Reverend Ron said, and they returned a few more times over the years. With the guidance and teaching from Kanada, MBT's Taiko group officially started in 1977, establishing it as the Chicago's first and now oldest Taiko group. By 1985, within 10 short years, Reverend Ron had introduced and established the Taiko Ripple, teaching about Taiko, teaching drumming, making the Taiko drums, and starting other EBL Taiko groups, such as Seabrook Buddhist Temple in New Jersey, New York Buddhist Church, Minneapolis Twin Cities Buddhist Sangha, and Ikoji Temple in Virginia. The Taiko Ripple embraced children in 1997 when Lynn and Jerry Matsumoto, who were original members of MBT's Taiko group and also Dharma school teachers, they formed the MBT Youth Taiko group, Huetso, which means to spread the joy, which it indeed does. Most of the EBL temples still have active adult and Dharma school Taiko groups and or classes. And through Reverend Ron's leadership, the foundation of MBT Taiko and EBL Taiko groups interconnected to Taiko groups in the West, embracing Buddhist concepts as a focus of the groups more than being purely performing groups. If you want to learn more interesting stories from Reverend Ron about Taiko traveling east, you can watch the video, which will be shared on the MBT YouTube channel in the very near future. But when you think of the Taiko Ripple, ponder how it impacts not only our temples and temple members, but also how all impacts the audience members as well. Reverend Ron was instrumental for thousands of people on the Midwest and the East Coast to experience Taiko and other traditional Japanese music for the first time. We thank him for all his efforts and hard work for helping to popularize traditional Japanese music outside of the West Coast and for bringing Reverend Moss to share his talents and Taiko ideologies to the Midwest. Hope you watch the video sometime, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Cynthia. It's so wonderful to hear about Reverend Ron, and I hope he's feeling better.
Thank you.
You know, and thank you very much for sharing. Really appreciate it. Okay. Well, we're moving right along to our next topic, and this is just for you to see what it looks like. but we have a webinar playlist on the BCA music channel. So if you just go to this link on the BCA music channel, you can see the whole list of various webinars that we've done and the recordings of them. So check it out when you can. We will have a flyer with all of the links that we talk about today. So that'll be on a flyer, and just let us know that you want access. You want a copy of that, and we will send it to you. Okay. Okay. So our next speaker is going to be Nobuko Miyamoto, and as you saw earlier, Nobuko is a composer of various American Bon dances, from Yuyo to all the way to Kangie. And now she has another song and dance going called 120,000 Stories. And she wants to talk to you about it. And she also has an ask. So Nobuko, all yours.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for giving me the space to talk about 120,000 Stories. I think I brought it up a couple of months ago. And, this is a song that's I've been tinkering with for about 5 years before COVID. And it came about when I was, working with Fandango Bon. You can see my Fandango Bon t-shirt. With just Sean playing the shamisen, George Abe playing the flute, we had Taiko, and then we had Quetzal playing the guitar. And it was during a time when ICE, at that time, was picking up people, and there was a lot of protesting and caring about what's going on with people. And we wanted to share our experiences as Japanese Americans. So that's how the song sort of first came up. And so we had this first version, and I'm going to put my timer on so I don't speak too long. We had this first version, and Quetzal said, "Well, we'll just have speakers get up and tell the stories in between the choruses." And I'm going, "But how long are they're going to talk, but he's, let them do that." And so there's been so much experimentation about how these 4 spaces of stories fit into this song. And as I say, I've been tinkering with it ever since. Second time I did it on my album, where I wrote all the lyrics. Then a couple of years ago at Janum, we did Fandango Bon, and so we had a live group, and it happened to be when Ireicho was having a meeting there, and also Tsuda for Solidarity. So people from both of those groups came up, and in the places where there were verses, they told stories. And that was also very powerful. So then Dan Kwong has been building this baseball field in Manzanar. So in 2024, there was a trial game. There are two games. And standing out there in Manzanar, I'm going, oh my God, we need to do 120,000 stories out here. And so we will. I mean, it got canceled in 2025 because of the shutdown, government shutdown, but things were steaming up. Because, if anybody said anything about the camp being something negative about America, they could shut down that camp. They already took, the 442 off the website of the government website, etc. And so the idea of that our stories could be disappeared, that our experiences could be erased from American history, became more urgent. And so this idea of doing it in camp and having people, hundreds of people, being in that space, dancing like our ancestors did in camp. When they were in camp, they found a way to dance in a circle. They found a way to do obon. And so it would kind of connect us to our ancestors in that way, and also connect us to the present moment. So then I started thinking about the teaching video, and I'm going, okay. But I usually get these ideas like at 4 in the morning. We just can't do this teaching video in LA. We have to go to Manzanar and do it. So of course that becomes a bigger issue, more expensive, etc., and more organization. But then thinking about it, it would be easier to sell the idea to all of the pilgrimages to do this piece at their pilgrimages if we have a teaching video that was done in a camp. So we're going to do that. We're going to shoot it sometime in May. And if anybody from Southern California wants to be part of that, volunteer to dance, come to Manzanar and for the one day in the afternoon and help us shoot this. It would be great. So let me know about that. Then a couple weeks later, again at 4 in the morning, I get another idea, and I said, well, the best way to push this out into the pilgrimages is that each one of us, or most of us, have a relationship with some camp that either we as children were in, like me, or our relatives, our ancestors were in. Wouldn't it be beautiful if the dance teachers did it to whatever camp that they were connected to? So that's where I am right now. I wanted to present this idea to see what you all think about it. If you want to brainstorm with me and the committee to figure out how to best do this and bring this into the space of each camp that's having pilgrimages. I think it would deepen the meaning for everyone. And you know, I just loved seeing how with Taiko and also Bombu stories, how people, you know, go out into the community and you know, this is how we learn. This is how I learn. It's not out of books. It's about relationships, and this is how we build these relationships throughout the country and get ideas. So it's and how culture grows, like how Ron made, you know, it's incredible what Johnny and George did and Reverend Moss and is spreading spreading Taiko and now you all doing this with Obon. It's like, it's really exciting to me. So anyway, I have 1 minute left. I just want to say, if you could reach out to Kemi or Chris and let them know if you're interested in helping to do this. If you want to volunteer to be in the teaching video, I would love it. So it's all about what's beautiful about Obon is nobody watches, right? Everybody dances. Everybody's in their body and soul. It's all, you know. So in the same way, you teaching, you know, in the places that your family have been in camp, just makes it a stronger story. So thank you. I won't ramble anymore.
Thank you,
And
Reiko.
I thank you.
The email address for the BCA Music Committee in the chat,
Okay.
including to contact
Thanks,
if
Kemi.
they're interested in your project. And I also put in the chat a handout that our group prepared for you on the webinar.
So we'll make sure that people can contact you. And I think we already have at least one volunteer.
Okay,
So,
great.
yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nobuko. You have awesome ideas, and we are just thrilled.
Thank you.
So, moving on to our next possible webinar is, well, no, not a possible webinar, but what we're going to be doing in May is, and this is all, when Kiyama always has these great ideas, and he had been taking a lot of surveys of different bone dances that people have done over the years in their communities, and some of them were from Stockton and from Cortez. We had these partner dances, and so he said, "Partner dances, what are they?" So we're going to have a webinar on partner dances, and we found 4 of them. We probably could show 2, maybe 3 partner dances. And so this is going to be on Saturday, May 16th, from 11 to 12:15. And so save the date. We'll be sending out more publicity and and we'll be sending out links to sign up and things like that soon. And so please look forward to partner dance. There you go. There's our registration form. So grab a partner, bone dance for 2. Okay.
Okay, Moss, thank you. Can you stop sharing screen?
So, I think Kemi would like to make some announcements.
Thank you. So these are my announcements. We have a traveling exhibit by the American Bon Dance Consortium, Agatha Lyric Writing Contest, and sponsorship support. First of all, I'd like to thank Reiko Iwanaga. She's been in the relative background today, but has planned this workshop with Chris throughout the preparation. And Reiko is also part of the American Bon Consortium. And so she, along with Wenkiyama and Yumihata, have created this traveling exhibit. Originally, they assembled it, the panels that you see here, for the World Buddhist Women's Conference in San Francisco in 2019, before the BCA Music Committee was formed. And then they added these photos for the traveling exhibit that were displayed in 2024 for the BCA 125th anniversary in San Francisco at the National Japanese American Historical Society Peace Gallery. So some of you may have seen it already. The display was also exhibited last summer at some of the Bay and Coast District temples in the Berkeley Public Library. Their contact information is here, and it's also included in our workshop handout that I placed in the chat. And then the next part I would like to do is to share with you the BCA Music YouTube channel. And hopefully you all know there is one. It's on the BCA Music webpage on the BCA website first. It's under this news and media column. And currently we have the Youth Gotha Lyric Contest posted here. And even though the early deadline passed January 31st for submission for the popular vote at the in-person Northwest District Convention and National Council meeting for BCA next weekend, the final deadline for the Youth Gotha Lyric Contest is not until May 1st. And so we would like to encourage you all to have youth up to high school senior age qualify. They don't need to be a registered Dharma School student. Small group or Dharma School entries will also be accepted, so please encourage them and refer them to the BCA Music website for the entry form and submission instructions. And then you also heard from Bamboo Stories and from Derek Nakamoto on the Kangie Film Project. We have sponsorship opportunities posted here on the BCA Music website. We still have some funding for the upcoming conference, but also this is really special, the Kangie Film Project. We're really appreciative from the BCA Bishops Expansion Fund for the initial production costs and additional funding from Dharma Forward. But you have this opportunity as individual sponsors for consideration of acknowledgement in the film credits for the early sponsors. So that's there. And also on the website, besides donating online, there's instructions for the option to pay BCA Endowment Foundation Music Committee through a check mailed. So all that information is on the BCA Music webpage. Thank you. We don't have time for Q&A, but any other questions or comments, suggestions for a BCA Music Committee can be sent to that email address. Also, at the bottom of the BCA Music webpage is a Contact Us button, and it takes you to an email that will come to me as BCA Music Committee Chairperson. So thank you, Chris and Reiko, and all of our presenters, and to all of you for your participation. And I believe Reverend Kusunoki, did you join?
Yeah, I'm here.
Would you lead us in closing gasho, please? Reverend Kusunoki, along with Reverend Tadao Koyama, our music committee ministerial advisors. So thank you for joining, Sensei.
Well, thank you for the presenters. It is good to see all the videos and the pictures, to understand what's going on. I think music committee is one of the most active committee in BCA. Thank you, Kemi, for your hard work for this BCA committee, music committee. Okay, please join me in gasho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda. Thank you.
Thank you, Sensei. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you, everybody. If you would like to get your list, the link to all the places that we've gone to and the places you want to see, it's in the chat. So if you can get your chat and download that right now, then you don't have to email us for the information. So if you can do it.
Those of you who are part of the National Council meeting, Northwest District Convention, we're also going to see if we can upload it to the Huba app and then add it to our music committee report for the National Council meeting delegates. So thank you very much.
And thank you, everybody, for helping us out and for participating. We really appreciate it.